Cursed be the ground for our sake. Thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for you. For out of the ground we were taken, for the dust we are, and to dust we shall return. But no darkness will overcome me. I rise from the dust, because the breath of God is in me. I discipline my body and keep it under control. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in him, and I am helped. Though enemies rise up against me, the Lord will strike them down. The horse is made ready for the day of battle, but victory belongs to the Lord. I stand firm on the rock that cannot be shaken, Christ Jesus. I call upon him, and he hears me. He trains my hands for war, and my fingers for battle. Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, Whom shall I send, and who will go for us? And I said, Here am I, send me. Send me into the storm, send me into the darkness, where light is needed most. Send me to stand when others flee, to build when others break, to speak when others stay silent. For I was not made for comfort. I was made for the fight. I was made for the fire. I was made to carry the banner of Christ into the chaos. Though the world shakes around me, my foundation stands. Though my flesh grows weary, my spirit will not faint. For the Lord is my refuge, my fortress, and my commander. And when the day of battle comes, I will not be found sleeping. I will be found standing. And when my strength is spent and my armor is worn, I will lift my eyes to the hills, for my help comes from the Lord. He renews my strength like the eagles, and sets me upon high places. So I march onward through trial and fire, for I know in whom I have believed, and I am convinced that he is faithful.
Hey yo. One, two. Out the rusty shackles broken free, bellows stoking me, false and bloody daggers out the cloakery, gouging the eye, the pyramid out its socket, with a barrel to its satanic temple. I'm about to cock it and blast off like a rocket, put holes in the elite to match a Federal Reserve's pocket. Drop it, hands up, back away, with a gun in your mouth. You spin doctors ain't got crap to say, wind up dead from trigger tap delay. Everything's black and white in a spiritual fray that lacks the gray. Maps to lay my name across, that which entraps reacts like wax to collapse from the flame I toss. Keep it hell stocked with the shell shocked, aim a slug in your brain, reach out when the shell's caught, with the ballistic fingerprint altered after government registry, and a mouthful of government LSD, unaware we even close in the click that precedes explosion, cloak and dagger knights on steeds of Trojan, older than crushed berries that stain caves, stoking dying embers as the flame fades. Television trained slaves, so we rule the underground and bury your clan with the same spades. In this vain age, everything illegal is not a crime, like every millimeter is not a 9. On the low with the gunmetal aiming, heaters with the shine at the leaders of the time, vampiric bleeders of the mind. Never wind up in the clutches of a secret prison. Those without the words wisdom should seek its vision. Our peak is risen to parallax elite divisions, sent to another third world nation trying to eke its living. Driven to defiance, they rule with violence, rapping the truth in silence. science and black magical science. Repeatedly stabbed in the back like a manatee. Swords of falsehood cutting your seams of sanity. Cause you rep a view drugged by means of vanity. Manipulating the hopes and dreams of humanity. I'm repping the book of life, there's no murking me. Never shook by strife because I know yours is certainty. Working free from these bonds of sin, while the world moves you like puppets or leaves blown on the wind.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Shabbat Shalom. How you doing, my friends? Another day of rest, another Sabbath rolls around in these troubled times. It's nice and stormy out here where I'm at. Rain is falling down. And what's weird is this weather is just crazy, man. A little while ago it was all sunny. It's just back and forth the whole time. But I hope you all are blessed. You're doing well. Hope you're enjoying your Sabbath rest. You're getting some good naps in, feeding off of the Word, and soaking it all up. Dear Heavenly Father, we humbly come before you right now and invite your presence in our homes, in the rooms that we're sitting in right now, in our hearts and our minds. May my words be your words, Father. May my thoughts be your thoughts. Father, may I not mislead anybody, but nothing but truth comes from my mouth. And I pray that whatever we read here, that we could apply it to our lives in some form or fashion to help us grow closer to you and to serve you in this dark world, Father. We pray for your strength, your wisdom, and your resolve in Yeshua's mighty, mighty name. Amen. All right, my friends. So we're going to get off on, start off with Numbers 4. I did go live earlier, but I was using a different platform or a different app, whatever you want to call it, and was trying all these free ones out, and it only did 12 minutes. For whatever reason, it said it was going to go for an hour, and I was like, okay, I think I can do this Bible study within an hour, but it cut off at the 12-minute mark, so I just went ahead and threw the live stream on private, and then we'll just go ahead and do it all over again so we can get an accurate Torah portion reading and maybe a little bit of chit chat afterwards. So there we go. There we go. Now, so I hope your families are doing okay out there. I know that it's been a big struggle for a lot of us. I know it has for me. It's like I've been living in the twilight zone. It's crazy how your life can just, switch in the blink of an eye, That's why the Lord wants us to be vigilant and always be ready, be strong in His Word, and especially in the times we're living in right now, we must become weapons. And I'm sure you've heard me say it before, but you got to be a weapon here, here, and here, and also here. You got to be strong, man. And we're called to be warriors. Christ is building an army. We're living in that time. First, we need to gut the churches out. We get rid of all these weak men, all these fake pastors, and we got to turn the tide. We need masculinity back in our churches, and because if we're going to be battling feminism, Satanism, and all of the narratives of the elite, their propaganda and everything else that they're pushing on us and our children. We have to stay ready. And let's stay ready by getting in the Word right now and strengthening up our minds and our hearts. Numbers 4. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, also take a census of the sons of Gershon by the father's house, by their families, from 30 years old and above, even to 50 years old. You shall number them, all who enter to perform the service, to do the work in the tabernacle of meeting. This is the service of the families of the Gershonites, in serving and carrying. They shall carry the curtains of the tabernacle and the tabernacle of meeting with this covering, the covering of badger skins that is on it, the screen for the door of the tabernacle of meeting, the screen for the door of the gate of the court, the hangings of the court which are around the tabernacle and altar, and their cords, all the furnishing for the service, all that is made for these things, so shall they serve. Aaron and his sons shall assign all the service of the sons and the Gershonites, all their tasks and all their service, and you shall appoint them all their tasks as their duty. This is the service of the families of the sons of Gershon in the tabernacle of meeting. And their duties shall be under the authority of Ithamar, the son of Aaron the priest. As for the sons of Merari, you shall number them by their families and by their father's house. From 30 years old and above, even to 50 years old, you shall number them. Everyone who enters the service to do work of the tabernacle of meeting, and this is what they must carry as all their service for the tabernacle of meeting. The boards of the tabernacle, its bars, its pillars, its sockets, and the pillars around the court with their sockets, pegs, and cords, with all the furnishings, and all their service, and you shall assign to each man by name the items they must carry. This is the service of the families of the sons of Merari, as all the service for the tabernacle of meeting, under the authority of Ithamar, the son of Aaron the priest. You know, it might seem like repetitive. A lot of these things that we read in the Torah, especially like the sacrifices and building the tabernacle and all these different things that he has us do, they're very intricate and very detailed. And he does this on purpose because the Father is very detailed. He likes everything is perfect and precise the way he is doing it. All the measurements, it's crazy, man, when you look into it. Like even people today nowadays, like I guess archaeologists, scientists, and architects and stuff like that. They trip out today how accurate a lot of this stuff is, and you can just build all this stuff today with all the measurements and the information that's given to you within the Word. God does not play around. It's crazy how everything is so accurate, man. And Moses and Aaron and the leaders of the congregation numbered the sons of the Kohathites by their families and by their father's house, from 30 years old and above, even to 50 years old, everyone who entered the service for work in the tabernacle of meeting. And those who were numbered by their families were 2,750. These were the ones who were numbered of the families of the Kohathites, all who might serve in the tabernacle of meeting, whom Moses and Aaron numbered according to the commandment and the Lord by the hand of Moses. And those who were numbered of the sons of Gershon, by their families and by their father's house, from 30 years old and above, even to 50 years old, everyone who entered the service for work in the tabernacle of meeting, those who were numbered by their families, by their father's house, were 2,630. These are the ones who were numbered of the families of the sons of Gershon, of all who might serve in the tabernacle of meeting, whom Moses and Aaron numbered according to the commandment of the Lord. Those are the families of the sons of Merari, who were numbered by their families, by their father's house, from 30 years old and above, even to 50 years old. Everyone who entered the service of work for work in the tabernacle of meeting, those who were numbered by their families were 3,200. These are the ones who were numbered of the families of the sons of Merari, whom Moses and Aaron numbered according to the word of the Lord by the hand of Moses. All who were numbered of the Levites, whom Moses, Aaron, and the leaders of Israel numbered by their families and by their fathers' houses, from 30 years old and above, even to 50 years old. Everyone who came to do the work of service and the work of bearing burdens in the tabernacle of meeting, those who were numbered were 8,580. According to the commandment of the Lord, they were numbered by the hand of Moses, each according to his service and according to his task. Thus were they numbered by him. They were numbered by him as the Lord commanded Moses. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Command the children of Israel that they put out the camp every leper, everyone who has put everyone out of the camp, even every leper, everyone who has a discharge, and whoever becomes defiled by touching a corpse. You shall put out both male and female. You shall put them outside the camp, that they may not defile their camps in the midst of which I dwell." There's the cleanliness thing. And the children of Israel did so, and put them outside the camp, as the Lord spoke to Moses. So the children of Israel did. You ever hear that old saying, cleanliness is next to godliness? Everything must be perfect, clean, and holy. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to the children of Israel. When a man or a woman commits any sin that men commit in unfaithfulness against the Lord, and that person is guilty, then he shall confess the sin which he has committed. He shall make restitution for his trespass in full, plus 1/5 of it, and give it to the one he has wronged. But if the man has no relative to whom restitution may be made for the wrong, the restitution for the wrong must go to the Lord for the priest. In addition to the ram of the atonement, with which atonement is made for him, every offering of all holy things of the children of Israel which they bring to the priest shall be his, and every man's holy things shall be his. Whatever any man gives the priest shall be his." And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, if any man's wife goes astray and behaves unfaithfully towards him, and a man lies with her carnally, and it is hidden from the eyes of her husband, and it is concealed that she has defiled herself, and there was no witness against her, nor was she caught, if the spirit of jealousy comes upon him, and he becomes jealous of his wife, who has defiled herself, or if the spirit of jealousy comes upon him, and he becomes jealous of his wife, although she has not defiled herself, then the man shall bring his wife to the priest. He shall bring the offering required for her, 1/10 of an ephah of barley meal. He shall pour no oil on it, and put no frankincense on it, because it is a grain offering of jealousy, an offering for remembering, for bringing iniquity to remembrance. And the priest shall bring her near and set her before the Lord. The priest shall take holy water in an earthen vessel, and take some of the dust that is on the floor of the tabernacle, and put it in the water. Then the priest shall stand the woman before the Lord, uncover the woman's head, and put the offering for remembering in her hands, which is the grain offering of jealousy. And the priest shall have in his hand the bitter water, that brings a curse. And the priest shall put her under oath, and say to the woman, if no man has lain with you, and if you have not gone astray to uncleanness, while under your husband's authority, be free from this bitter water that brings a curse. But if you have gone astray while you're under your husband's authority, and if you have defiled yourself, and some man other than your husband is lain with you, then the priest shall put the woman under the oath of the curse. And he shall say to the woman, the Lord make you a curse and an oath among your people, when the Lord makes your thigh rot and your belly swell. And may this water that caused the curse to go into your stomach and make your belly swell and your thigh rot, then the woman shall say, Amen, so be it. Then the priest shall write these curses in a book, and he shall scrape them off into the bitter water. And he shall make the woman drink the bitter water that brings a curse. And the water that brings the curse shall enter her to become bitter. Then the priest shall take the grain offering of jealousy from the woman's hand, shall wave the offering before the Lord, and bring it to the altar. And the priest shall take a handful of the offering as its memorial portion, burn it on the altar, and afterward make the woman drink the water. When he has made her drink the water, then it shall be, if she has defiled herself and behaved unfaithfully toward her husband, that the water that brings a curse will enter her and become bitter, and her belly will swell, her thigh will rot, and the woman will become a curse among her people. But if the woman has not defiled herself and is clean, then she shall be free and may conceive children. This is the law of jealousy, when a wife, while under her husband's authority, goes astray and defiles herself. Or when the spirit of jealousy comes upon a man, and he becomes jealous of his wife, then he shall stand the woman before the Lord, and the priest shall execute all his law upon her. Then the man shall be free from iniquity, but the woman shall bear her guilt. You know, when I was recording this earlier, I was bringing up how this reminded me of the video that I recorded late last night. And I was doing a reaction to one of Pearl Davis's videos. She was like standing in front of a church and asking a question with a big old poster board that said, should Christian women obey their husbands? And it's pretty wild, man. They called the police on her. They tried to have her removed. At first they were like, oh, you're not bothering anybody. They were trying to figure out what she was, what she was up to. And she continued on asking her questions. So many dudes were afraid to answer the question. You could see them looking over to their wives for like permission and stuff. And you can see the wives just weren't feeling it. You could see the fear in their faces. You can read their body language. And then everybody was afraid to answer that question honestly. And it's wild. Like, and the cops, even after a while, made her cross the street and set up across the street after they said it was okay. And she even confronted the people at the church, I guess the spokespersons or whoever they were that were kind of on her bumper about it. And they couldn't even answer it. They couldn't give a real reason why. But we all know the reason why. It's because of the gynocentric mindset of the church these days. It's been corrupted with feminism. And it's crazy how the words like obey, authority, all these things have become such a bad word. And like they're taboo or something. But as you read all throughout the word and how marriage works, who has the authority, who is supposed to be the one in charge. It's just, it blows my mind that we have fallen this far away. And the women know in their hearts that this is true, but they don't want to accept it because they benefit from it. It's just, it is what it is. It's sad. They will have to give an account before the Lord for it too. And so will the weak men who do not confront this kind of behavior and take charge. I get it. A lot of men are afraid. They're afraid of divorce because look at the legal system is all set up against us. Everything is corrupt nowadays. We're living in a fallen world. Modern day Babylon, modern day Egypt. Look how hard it is to even just keep the Sabbath. They've made everything so far from what God intended for us to do in every aspect of life. They've even turned our kids away from us. They're the ones that are raising our kids. We're not. If we raise them right, we get in trouble. They take them from us. They'll put you in jail. Anyways, I'm going too far away, from what we're reading right here, but you could see over and over authority, obey. I mean, it's like even with us, we are slaves to Christ. We are under his authority. We are to obey him. We are property of Christ, just like our wives and children are our property. And look at how that has become such a bad word. It's just wild. Like, why is there a negative connotation attached to it? It makes no sense. But we all know why. Feminism. Now, if we'd have talked about these same things like 40 years ago, there would still be some pushback a little bit, because feminism and social Marxism has been working on us through propaganda for a while. However, it wouldn't be as bad as it is today. A lot of people would admit, yeah, that's my husband, he's in charge, It's just wild how this is. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, when neither a man or a woman consecrates an offering to take a vow of a Nazirite, to separate himself to the Lord, he shall separate from wine and similar drink. He shall drink neither vinegar made from wine nor vinegar made from similar drink. Neither shall he drink any grape juice, nor eat fresh grapes or raisins. All the days of his separation he shall eat nothing that is produced by the grapevine, from seed to skin." That'd be a pretty good name for like a wine company. From seed to skin. All the days of the vow of his separation, no razor shall come upon his head, until the days are fulfilled for which he separated himself to the Lord. He shall be holy. Then he shall let the locks of his head grow all the days that he separates himself to the Lord. He shall not go near a dead body. He shall not make himself unclean, even for his father or his mother, for his brother or his sister, when they die, because his separation to God is on his head. All the days of his separation he shall be holy to the Lord. It's how much God takes holiness and cleanliness serious. He didn't even want them to go near their own dead. And that's a pretty major sacrifice for one to make, to touch their loved one last time before you bury them or whatever. But God's very serious about it. You make a vow, you make a covenant, you better keep it. So the Lord isn't playing, oh, I changed my mind, or I take that back, or I didn't mean it anymore. The Lord's yeses mean yes, and his noes mean no. And if anyone dies very suddenly besides him, and he defiles his consecrated head, then he shall shave his head on the day of his cleansing. On the 7th day he shall shave it. Then on the 8th day he shall bring 2 turtle doves and 2 young pigeons to the priest, to the door of the tabernacle of meeting. And the priest shall offer, one as a sin offering and the other as a burnt offering, and make atonement for him, because he sinned in regard to the corpse. And he shall sanctify his head that same day. He shall consecrate to the Lord the days of his separation, and bring a male lamb in its first year as a trespass offering. But the former days shall be lost, because his separation was defiled. Now this is the law of the Nazirite. When the days of his separation are fulfilled, he he shall be brought to the door of the tabernacle of meeting. And he shall present his offering to the Lord, one male lamb in its first year without blemish as a burnt offering, one ewe lamb. Is that how you pronounce that? Ewe? Ewe. In its first year without blemish as a sin offering, one ram without blemish as a peace offering, a basket of unleavened bread, cakes of fine flour mixed with oil, unleavened wafers anointed with the oil, and their grain offering with their drink offerings. And the priest shall bring them before the Lord and offer his sin offering and his burnt offering. He shall offer the ram as a sacrifice, a peace offering to the Lord with the basket of unleavened bread. The priest shall also offer its grain offering and its drink offering. Then the Nazirite shall shave his head, shave his consecrated head at the door of the tabernacle of meeting. And he shall take the hair from his consecrated head and put it on the fire which is under the sacrifice of the peace offering. And the priest shall take the boiled shoulder of the ram, one unleavened cake from the basket, and one unleavened wafer, and put them upon the hands of the Nazirite, after he has shaved his consecrated hair. And the priest shall wave them as a wave offering before the Lord. They are holy for the priest, together with the breast of the wave offering and the thigh of the heave offering. After the Nazirite may drink wine. This is the law of the Nazirite, who vows to the Lord the offering for his separation, and besides that, whatever else his hand is able to provide, according to the vow which he takes. So he must do according to the law of his separation. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to Aaron and his sons, saying, This is the way you shall bless the children of Israel. Say to them, The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. So they shall put my name on the children of Israel, and I will bless them. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Now it came to pass when Moses had finished setting up the tabernacle, that he anointed it and consecrated it, and all its furnishings, and the altar, and all its utensils. So he anointed them and consecrated them. Then the leaders of Israel, the heads of their fathers' houses, and who were the leaders of the tribes, and over those who were numbered, made an offering, and they brought their offering before the Lord. 6 covered carts and 12 oxen, a cart for every 2 of the leaders, and for each one of an ox. They presented them before the tabernacle. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Accept these from them, that they may be used in doing work of the tabernacle of meeting, and you shall give them to the Levites, to every man according to his service. So Moses took the carts and the oxen and gave them to the Levites. 2 carts and 4 oxen he gave to the sons of Gershon, according to their service, and 4 carts and 8 oxen he gave to the sons of Merari, according to their service, under the authority of Ithamar, the son of Aaron, the priest. But to the sons of Kohath he gave none, because there was the service of the holy things which they carried on their shoulders. Now the leaders offered the dedication offering for the altar when it was anointed. So the leaders offered their offerings before the altar. For the Lord said to Moses, They shall offer their offerings 1 liter each day for the dedication of the altar. And the one who offered his offering on the first day was Nahshon, the son of Amminadab, from the tribe of Judah. His offering was 1 silver platter, the weight of which was 130 shekels, and 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering. 1 gold pan of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 1 male lamb in its first year as a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats as a sin offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs in their first year. This was the offering of Nahshon the son of Amminadab. On the second day, Nathaniel the son of Zuar, leader of Issachar, presented an offering, for his offering is offered 1 silver platter, the weight of which was 130 shekels, and 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering. 1 gold pan of 10 shekels full of incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb in its first year as a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats as a sin offering, and as the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs in their first year. This was the offering of Nathaniel, the son of Zuar. And on the third day, Eliab, the son of Helon, leader of the children of Zebulun, presented an offering. His offering was 1 silver platter, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold pan of 10 shekels full of incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb in its first year as a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats as a sin offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs in their first year. This was the offering of Eliab, the son of Elon. And on the fourth day, Elazar, the son of Shedur, the leader of the children of Reuben, presented an offering. His offering was 1 silver platter, the weight of which was 130 shekels, and 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold pan of 10 shekels full of incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb in its first year as a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats as a sin offering, and as the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs in their first year. This was the offering of Elazar, the son of Shedur. And part of me, if I'm not reading these names or pronouncing them right, I am no expert at this. So feel free to correct me if I'm saying them wrong, and I will learn. On the 5th day, Shalumiel, the son of Zurishaddai, leader of the children of Simeon, presented an offering. His offering was 1 silver platter, the weight of which was 130 shekels, and 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold pan of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 1 male lamb in its first year as a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats as a sin offering, and as a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs in their first year. This was the offering of Shalumiel, the son of Zurishaddai. On the 6th day, Eliasaph, the son of Duel, leader of the children of Gad, presented an offering. His offering was 1 silver platter, the weight of which was 130 shekels, and 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold pan of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb in its first year as a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats as a sin offering, and as the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs in their first year. This was the offering of Eliasaph, the son of Duel. And on the 7th day, Elishama, the son of Ammihud, the leader of the children of Ephraim, presented an offering. His offering was 1 silver platter, the weight of which was 130 shekels, and 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold pan of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb in its first year as a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats as a sin offering, and as the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs in their first year. This was the offering of Elishama, the son of Ammihud. On the 8th day, Gamma, Gamma, I'm struggling with some of these names. Gamaliel, the son of Pedazur, leader of the children of Manasseh, presented an offering. His offering was 1 silver platter, the weight of which was 130 shekels, and 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold pan of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb at its first year, as a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats as a sin offering, and as the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs in their first year. This was the offering of Gamaliel, the son of Pedazur. And on the 9th day, Abidan, the son of Gideoni, leader of the children of Benjamin, presented an offering. His offering was 1 silver platter, the weight of which was 130 shekels, and 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold pan of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb in its first year as a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats as a sin offering, and the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs in their first year. This was the offering of Abidan, the son of Gideoni. And on the 10th day, Ahiezer, the son of Ammishaddai, leader of the children of Dan, presented an offering. His offering was 1 silver platter, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold pan of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 1 male lamb in its first year as a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats as a sin offering, and as the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs in their first year. This was the offering of Ahiezer, the son of Ammishaddai. And on the 11th day, Pagiel, the son of Okran, leader of the children of Asher, presented an offering. His offering was 1 silver platter, the weight of which was 130 shekels, the 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold pan of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb in its first year as a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats as a sin offering, and as the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs in their first year. This was the offering of Pagiel, the son of Okran. And on the 12th day, Ahira, the son of Enan, leader of the children of Naphtali, presented an offering. His offering was 1 silver platter, the weight of which was 130 shekels, and 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, the 1 gold pan of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb in its first year as a burnt offering, 1 kid of the goats as a sin offering, and as the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs in their first year. This was the offering of Ahira, the son of Enan. And this was the dedication offering for the altar from the leaders of Israel when it was anointed: 12 silver platters, 12 silver bowls, and 12 gold pans. Each silver platter weighed 130 shekels, each bowl 70 shekels. All the silver of the vessels weighed 2,400 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary. The 12 gold pans full of incense weighed 10 shekels apiece, according to the shekel of the sanctuary. And the gold of the pans weighed 120 shekels. All the oxen for the burnt offerings were 12 young bulls, the rams 12, the male lambs in their first year 12, with their grain offering, and the kids of the goats as a sin offering 12. All of the oxen for the sacrifice of peace offerings were 24 bulls, the rams 60, the male goats 60, and the lambs in their first year 60. This was the dedication offering for the altar after it was anointed. Now when Moses went into the tabernacle of meeting to speak with him, he heard the voice of one speaking to him from above the mercy seat that was the ark of the testimony, from between the two cherubim. Thus he spoke to him. Man. Whew. The Lord is very precise. Very, very precise. Very detailed. And it's all for a reason. Everything that the Lord does is perfect. And it all lines up mathematically and every other kind of way that you can possibly think of. All right, we are going to go next to Judges. Before we do that, we'll be right back.
Cursed be the ground for our sake. Thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for you. For out of the ground we were taken, for the dust we are, and to dust we shall return. But no darkness will overcome me. I rise from the dust, because the breath of God is in me. I discipline my body and keep it under control. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in him, and I am helped. Though enemies rise up against me, the Lord will strike them down. The horse is made ready for the day of battle, but victory belongs to the Lord. I stand firm on the rock that cannot be shaken, Christ Jesus. I call upon him, and he hears me. He trains my hands for war and my fingers for battle. Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Whom shall I send, and who will go for us?" And I said, "Here am I, send me. Send me into the storm, send me into the darkness, where light is needed most. Send me to stand when others flee, to build when others break, to speak when others stay silent. For I was not made for comfort. I was made for the fight. I was made for the fire. I was made to carry the banner of Christ into the chaos. Though the world shakes around me, my foundation stands. Though my flesh grows weary, my spirit will not faint. For the Lord is my refuge, my fortress, and my commander. And when the day of battle comes, I will not be found sleeping. I will be found standing. And when my strength is spent and my armor is worn, I will lift my eyes to the hills, for my help comes from the Lord. He renews my strength like the eagles and sets me upon high places. So I march onward through trial and fire. For I know in whom I have believed, and I am convinced that he is faithful. Cursed be the ground for our sake. Thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for you. For out of the ground we were taken, for the dust we are, and to dust we shall return. But no darkness will overcome me. I rise from the dust, because the breath of God is in me. I discipline my body and keep it under control. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in him, and I am helped. Though enemies rise up against me, the Lord will strike them down. The horse is made ready for the day of battle, but victory belongs to the Lord. I stand firm on the rock that cannot be shaken, Christ Jesus. I call upon him, and he hears me. He trains my hands for war and my fingers for battle. Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Whom shall I send, and who will go for us?" And I said, "Here am I, send me. Send me into the storm, send me into the darkness, where light is needed most. Send me to stand when others flee, to build when others break, to speak when others stay silent. For I was not made for comfort. I was made for the fight."
All right, we're back. Reaching about the hour mark here in this live stream. And we're just barely getting through the Torah. Now we're on to the prophets. Let's see. On to Judges 13. Now there was a certain man from Zoar, of the family of the Danites, whose name was Manoah, and his wife was barren and had no children. And the angel of the Lord appeared to the woman and said to her, "Indeed now you are barren and have borne no children. But you shall conceive and bear a son. Now therefore please be careful not to drink wine or similar drink, and not to eat anything unclean." Interesting, huh? Now why would that be? "For behold, you shall conceive and bear a son, and no razor shall come upon his head. For the child shall be a Nazirite to God from the womb, and he shall begin to deliver Israel out of the hand of the Philistines." Philistines. That is the land where Gaza is currently at right now. So Palestine, which is a Roman name that was given to them by Rome, is actually the land of the Philistines. And the descendants of them dwell there, or at least as far as we know. I could be mistaken there, but I'm pretty sure from the research I've done that's what's going on there. Now, as far as the other tribes, a lot of them like Judah and whatnot, they were, of course, expelled and scattered around, and they went in Europe, settled there, mixed with a lot of them. That's why you see a lot of Jews today. They look white and everything. It's because they're part European and part Semite. And so people always why do they look so different? Well, real easy answer. They mix with other people in other countries. So the woman that came and told her husband, saying, "A man of God came to me, and his countenance was like the countenance of the angel of God, very awesome, but I did not ask him where he was from, and he did not tell me his name. And he said to me, Behold, you shall conceive and bear a son. And he said to me, Behold, you shall conceive and bear a son. No drink, nor wine, or similar drink, nor eat anything unclean, For the child shall be a Nazirite to God from the womb to the day of his death." Oh, that's a long vow right there. Then Manoah prayed to the Lord and said, "O my Lord, please let the man of God whom you sent come to us again and teach us what we shall do for the child who will be born." And God listened to the voice of Manoah. And the angel of God came to the woman again, as she was sitting in the field. But Manoah and her husband was not with her. Then the woman ran in haste and told her husband and said to him, "Look, the man who came to me the other day has now just appeared to me." So Manoah arose and followed his wife. And when he came to the man, he said to him, "Are you the man who spoke to this woman?" And he said, "I am." Manoah said, "Now let your words come to pass. What will be the boy's rule of life and his work?" So the angel of the Lord said to Manoah, "Of all that I have said to the woman, let her be careful. She may not eat anything that comes from the vine, nor may she drink wine or similar drink, nor eat anything unclean. All that I command her, let her observe." Then Manoah said to the angel of the Lord, "Please let us detain you, and we will prepare a young goat for you." And the angel of the Lord said to Manoah, "Though you detain me, I will not eat your food. But if you offer a burnt offering, you must offer it to the Lord." For Manoah did not know he was the angel of the Lord. Then Manoah said to the angel of the Lord, "What is your name? That when your words come to pass, we may honor you." And the angel of the Lord said to him, "Why do you ask my name, seeing it is wonderful?" So Manoah took the young goat with the grain offering and offered it upon the rock to the Lord. And he did a wondrous thing while Manoah and his wife looked on. It happened as the flame went up toward heaven from the altar. The angel of the Lord ascended in the flame of the altar. When Manoah and his wife saw this, they fell on their faces to the ground. When the angel of the Lord appeared no more to Manoah and his wife, then Manoah knew that he was the angel of the Lord. It's wild how I read this so much in Scripture about people falling on their faces. And I've discussed this numerous times about the visions and dreams I've had, growing up ever since I was a young child, about the end of the world and God returning and Yeshua coming in the clouds and all the chaos that ensued beforehand. And I know that feeling because I felt it when he returns. Everybody in the world was flat on their face. And I mean, just flat as can be. Like if they could sink themselves into the ground, they would. Just flat. Just straight flat, dude. Like, not on your knees, not on your hands and knees, not kneeling. I mean, just laying flat as can be. Completely humbled, trembling in fear. Even those that are his children. It is that much of an awesome moment. And I know that a lot of you have had dreams similar to that. Lots of people in my generation and within this lifetime has experienced many of the same dreams. And even some things that you couldn't even possibly been influenced by. Because when you're a young child, there's a lot of things that you have not seen. No movie influences, no reading of the word or anything that to influence you, but you've had these vivid dreams where everything is just so descriptive. And then as you get older and you understand what those things meant, it's crazy, man. And Manoah said to his wife, "We shall surely die because we have seen God." But his wife said to him, "If the Lord had desired to kill us, he would have not accepted a burnt offering and a grain offering from our hands, nor would he have shown us all these things, nor would he have told us such things as these at this time." So the woman bore a son and called his name Samson. And the child grew, and the Lord blessed him, and the Spirit of the Lord began to move upon him at Mahane Dan between Zorah and Eshtal. So that's how Samson was born. But we all know what happened with Samson. Unfortunately, that happens to a lot of us men. You can be strong, mighty, as masculine as you can possibly be, and still fall for a Jezebel. As men, we have our weaknesses, but that's why the Word is constantly telling us and warning us of such things, so that we're prepared. We know how to be strong with will. On to the Brit Hadashah, Acts 21, 17 through 26. And when he had come to Jerusalem, the brethren received us gladly. On the following day, Paul went in with us to James, and all the elders were present. When he had greeted them, he told in detail those things which God had done among the Gentiles through his ministry. And when they heard it, they glorified the Lord. And they said to him, "You see, brother, how many myriads of Jews there are who have believed, and they are all zealous for the law, but they have been informed that you, that you teach all the Jews who are among the Gentiles to forsake Moses, saying that they ought to not circumcise their children, nor walk according to the customs. What then? Then the assembly must certainly meet, for they will hear that you have come. Therefore, do what we tell you. We have 4 men who have taken a vow. Take them and be purified with them, and pay their expenses so that they may shave their heads, and that they all may know that those things of which they were informed concerning you are nothing. And that they all may know that those things of which they were informed concerning you are nothing, but that you yourself also walk orderly and keep the law. But concerning the Gentiles who believe, we have written and decide that they should observe no such thing, except that they should keep themselves from things offered to idols, from blood, from things strangled, and from sexual immorality. So these must have been the unbelievers that were being grafted in at the time. Because Gentiles means unbeliever. Unfortunately, a lot of Christians in modern times, they believe that it means them. Like it's the Jews and then everybody else are Gentiles. No. Gentiles are unbelievers. Those that have not accepted Yahweh as their God or Yeshua as their Messiah. And you know what's funny is when you really think about it is that the modern Jews in Judaism, they're almost like Gentiles themselves because they're not really serving, the one true God, or at least a good portion of them aren't. And then some do just keep the Torah and don't do a lot of the man-made stuff and the Talmud and all that mess. But yet they haven't accepted the Messiah because of the traditions. And also the sad thing is that modern Christianity is a bad representation of Christians because they teach a lawless Messiah. They eat unclean. They don't keep the Sabbath. They do all these just egregious things that are just like spit on God's law, and they teach a different Jesus. So it's hard for them to accept the Messiah, the true Messiah, when modern Christians are absolutely bad ambassadors. It's shameful, to be honest with you. But you know what? There's been a rising in the remnant of the old ways. And it even says in the word that they shall return in the last days. And I've seen, since that I've came to Torah, I didn't have anybody to teach me, to show me or influence me going, hey, this is a thing. I learned it by reading the word. Just reading and wondering and seeing the contradictions of what modern Christianity is teaching. And I'm like, why are these things conflicting? This doesn't make sense. Out of the same pastors' mouths and stuff. And when I would ask them questions and confront them, they really didn't have answers. And then some pastors I met, they told me they don't know how to reconcile some of these things, but this is what we're told. This is what we say. And then they say, this is why we tell you to start, with Matthew when you're reading the Bible. It's like, no, that doesn't make any sense to me. Because if you're going to read the New Testament, and a lot of them are just letters to other churches and stuff, and then, of course, the life of Messiah, and, you don't have a clear context of what they believe, what they're teaching, if you just start from there. Because Jesus wasn't walking around with the King James Bible. He wasn't teaching the New Testament. Everything in the New Testament is them teaching Torah, the prophets. And it's wild how modern Christians can't make the connection there. It's just, that's what baffled me. And it got me looking into this more. And I had no understanding of this. And I just started, I slowly stopped celebrating the normal holidays that we see in the modern world that modern Christians keep, like Christmas and Easter and all these things. And I'm like, yeah, these are mixed with pagans. pagan beliefs and practices and traditions. And I'm like, and it started convicting me. Same thing with eating clean. And I met so much resistance when I started doing these things, being called a heretic and, ousted by all of my online groups and people that I knew. And it was wild, man. It was really wild. But it's crazy seeing today how so many, it's changed. It's changed so much. There are so many people everywhere now that keep the Torah and follow Yeshua and know that salvation is through belief in Yeshua, through Him, through His sacrifice, but also keep the old ways. It's a beautiful thing to see. Then Paul took them in on the next day, having been purified with them, entered the temple to announce the expiration of the days of purification, at which time an offering should be made for each one of them. I guess I probably should have read that before going off on that rant. So that will conclude the Torah portion for today. And those that are modern Christians, friends of mine, or that follow this page on Facebook or the YouTube channel, and everywhere else that you could find me, I think we're live on several different platforms right now. Hear me out, man. Hear me out. Look at what I'm talking about here. What a lot of us are talking about. All of these things in the Torah portion are connected together. There's a reason why you read out of the Torah, the prophets, and then the New Testament. Because they're all, each portion, they're all connected with each other in the context of what's being said. Just like, where's it at? Like Manoah and them. They're talking about doing all of the offerings and everything that they were doing, which we read earlier in the Torah with all the detailed, where you heard me just repeating the same things almost over and over, but it was for all different 12 tribes. So consider what I'm saying, my friends. And any pastor that is being honest with you will tell you the same thing. One that is very studied in Scripture, because it takes mental gymnastics and all kinds of things that defy logic and reasoning to teach what they're teaching today. You can't reconcile any of the doctrines that they're teaching today about the law being done away with. I don't understand how people still believe this. It's crazy. But you know what, man? I get it. The Catholic Church are the ones that did this. Centuries and centuries of indoctrination. To even when the Dark Ages, when Christians weren't even allowed to hold a Bible to learn how to read. You had to learn from a the freaking titles evades my mind right now, but from not pastors, but priests, excuse me. And that was the only way you could learn, was by listening to them. And, I got to give credit where credit is due. Like during the Reformation, a lot of people died, so that you're able to own a Bible and read a Bible. And, but in all honesty, the Reformation is just Catholic light. You know, they still were indoctrinated with a lot of the same traditions, teachings, and whatnot. They just shed a few of them. All right, brothers and sisters, I hope you're having a wonderful Sabbath. Get some more rest in while you can, because the modern day Babylon, modern day Egypt is slaving us to death, working us to death, making us all wage slaves, about to enslave us into the matrix, while we're simultaneously being invaded by pagan nations, which God said in the Word that it's going to be a curse, that we will be invaded by foreigners and they will take all of our riches, our women, and everything else. It's happening right before your eyes. While simultaneously, we're going to be plugged into the matrix while AI is being built up, data centers everywhere, and we're living in a dystopia. It's like we're in a mix of idiocracy and Wall-E and the Matrix, Terminator, the Running Man, They Live. I mean, everything is going on right now. And you can expect the Project Bluebeam stuff to go on soon with the fake alien, aka demons. It's crazy that, just over a decade ago, we were talking about this stuff on this channel and page, and a lot of the old school truthers, in the Christian truther community. And it's wild how much of this stuff has come to pass. When we were being called crazy, a bunch of conspiracy nuts, which there are a lot out there. A lot of those came in around like 2016, 2017. I mean, the waters got completely muddied with all kinds of wackaloon stuff, man. And it was done purposely, man, to make people that are bringing real truth to the masses to look like idiots. It's like why they made the term conspiracy theorist a thing, and you can't take them seriously. This was done on purpose. It's crazy, man. Anyways, you guys have a wonderful rest of your Sabbath. May God bless you and your family, your loved ones. Continue to serve Him. Find your purpose and what He's called you for, and raise up your children in His Word. Prepare them. They're going to be fighting the battle after we're gone. God bless you guys.